Welcome to the Central Dials podcast. Today we are joined by Sheffield Wednesday fan Jake as we look ahead to the fixture on Sunday. It's been, as expected, a very, very tough season for Wednesday given all the off-field issues. What has it been like supporting your club during this period?
I'll be honest with you, it's been awful because you've not known what's happening. There's been no clear communication when we had the old ownership. You got to remember, for us, this has been ongoing since probably about this time last year when Danny Rule was linked with going to Southampton and stuff. It all really started then, but if you want to go even back, we didn't pay last November's HMRC bill, and that was late. And it just started to have a vicious circle. You got to the end of the season, we play Watford, and Danny Rule turned around and goes, "You'll be in a relegation scrap next season." And we were like, he knows something we all don't. But we all knew what was happening because we couldn't pay players in March. It was weird doing a video turning around saying owner pay players. It's like that should be what happens anyway. It shouldn't be a news story. And then you go through all the situation in the summer. I think we racked up 16 embargoes in the end. I think it's the most anyone's had. At one point we had 6 embargoes ongoing. So because of that, we've had point deductions. We got your standard -12 for going into admin. We got -6 for all our other infractions. We got a transfer fee and loan fee restriction till 2027, the winter of 2027. Hopefully, if new ownership comes in, we may be able to get that sorted. But you go to each game feeling like, is this going to just be the same old? Because a draw at the minute, like we've had games against like Birmingham is a classic example where we were 3-2 up and they got a 98-minute equaliser. And you just think some of these games that if they just turned on the head a little bit, it'd be something. And like we had a period in the summer where we lost all our goals from last season in the face of the week. Windass, Smith, Gassam and Masaba all left. I don't blame any player that left because in that position you've got to put your family first. You've got to put what happens next. But credit to the players that have stayed and show what they can do. And credit to Gaffer Henrik. He could have quite easily left as well, but he decided to stay. So it's been traumatic, but hopefully we're going to be near the end of it. But we're now at the situation where admin have picked the preferred bidder. It's now with the FL for doing the checks and balances, fit and proper person test, and we all know how long that can take with the FL.
Yeah. Do you think, obviously, given the current situation with Wednesday, you're currently unable to loan anyone in during this window? If the takeover... Sorry.
Yeah, go carry on.
If a takeover does progress, do you believe there's any chance of maybe some more incomings or...
So it all depends on the FL. So yesterday after the game versus Preston, Henrik turned around and said that they are speaking to the FL about seeing if they can bring anyone in. If we are able to have that sorted, we should be able to have the same thing of bringing in frees and loans for no fees, because that's what we've done with Harry Amass from Manchester United. I'm going to say he's an excellent player, but anyone who wants him, he's horrible. Don't get him. I want him to stay for the rest of the season. But I think for Wednesday, you get the thing where around this time, you'll have it at QPR where a lot of games, so you can make 6 or 7 rotations. So people are not getting tired on the street. We can't do that. We got a load of senior players and the rest are just... We're picking from the academy, and then we're picking people out from the academy, and then because they're not used to the game volume, they're getting injured. We lost Liam Cooper yesterday, who came on a free. Yesterday with a groin injury. It's like it just keeps adding up. We really hope, as a fan base, that the EFL will turn around and say, "Look, we'll let you do some signings," but I'll be honest with you, I do understand where some fans are like, "Well, the EFL are giving you enough." Stop. But if the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be acting the same way of going, "Can I have some signing, please?" Because we haven't got anything.
Yeah. It's so tough, I think, as well, given everything that's gone on over the past couple of years for Wednesday. But finally, on the 24th of October, Chanziri was finally removed from his role at the club. What did it feel like to finally have your club back?
I'll be honest, it felt weird because you're not meant to celebrate going into administration.
Yeah,
Going into administration is meant to be like this whole doom and gloom. Oh, damn, it's really got bad. We, on the other hand, realised that we were getting rid of Chancery, so we knew it was a good thing. The problem is we had and I don't know if you've seen what's going on at Blackburn Rovers. They're doing something similar. We were boycotting heavily, like shirts,
yeah,
games. I think our last game where Chancery was there was Middlesbrough, and I think it was may have been 7,000 at the ground. That was it. And if people have been to Wednesday know how much that stadium can get filled and how passionate we are, we'll take a good following on Sunday. But it felt like a release. But then once you started looking into it, it's like, right, where does that leave us next? Because you can only be in administration so long. And then you've got to make sure the right people come in. Right now, we're in a position where we kind of don't know who's coming in because it's that preferred bidder stage. And once you get into that stage, you don't really know what's going to be happening because you're not allowed to. But when we went into administration, it felt good. Like the first weekend of going into administration, the club took in about £500,000 from fans.
wow,
They went straight and bought shirts because no one bought shirts all through the summer because they weren't putting their money in, not a pound back in. And you've got to give big credit to people like our supporter trust who have been heavily talking to the right people, organising protests, making sure that things were in place, that we didn't put anything in. And the Sheffield Wednesday Supporter Trust did amazing work, and then the fans rallied around that and kept it up. And I think it just got to a point where there's only so much you can do before it breaks its banks. And if that whole thing is like, he was skint, but we've now got the thing is he's the stupid thing with the administration. He's actually one of our biggest creditors. So we've got to make sure he gets paid. And the thing is, if we don't want any more point deductions, we have to make sure the 25p to the pound rule is done on the takeover. And then everything can get done. Then we won't get another minor 15 point deduction. If we did that, that would start next season. And I think that will be even harder to get rid of with League One football. Because Wednesday fans all know we're on a League One tour. There's no way we're getting out of this.
yeah. Looking back towards sort of this season, which player has stood out to you as being one for the future or just unbelievable?
It's very difficult because we've had a couple of them come in who have been really good and then they got injured. Ernie Weaver's a good one. Young centre back. Cole McGee, who played a couple of games, he's been really good. It's very difficult to say one for the future because we don't know what the future look like. I think the obvious answer is Pierce Charles, but he's the here and now. Yeah. And the problem with Pierce Charles is people are sniffing for him. People are already looking to see him, try and get him. And I don't blame him. He's a very good keeper. But I think right now it's Pierce Charles. He's only, I think he's 19, 20. And he plays like a midfielder. Yeah. You'll see it tomorrow, or as you've seen clips. He plays like he's a midfielder with the balls he can do. And I hate to say it, I love him to not be a keeper and put him next to Barry Bannon because that would be an elite midfield. But at the same time, he's very good in between the sticks. But it's all about if we know if we're going to keep him. Because you get into transfer window, people know we might be a bit desperate for money. Yeah. Or put a couple of million towards the administrator may have to think about it quite clearly, depending how quickly the takeover is going.
How much realistically would you take to sell him this window?
Realistically, I'd take 4 million probably with a sell on, but I think that's even that's a little high for a 19, 20-year-old. But it's very difficult to put a number on a player now because the market's so over saturated and overinflated. A player back in 2019, which you thought could have been worth 20 million, is now worth 60 million.
Yeah.
So I think it's very difficult to put a price on it. A good example will be, and you'll remember him playing against you last season, Gassama. So Gassama went up to Rangers. They got him for, I think it was 2.5 million. That was it. But then we had to give 50% of that to PSG or 30% of that to PSG. So we only got like $1 million.
Yeah.
So we didn't get the money we should have got for him. But that's the position you're in. I think a couple of seasons ago, Wigan had it very similar. They had Windass. He came on loan to us. I think they only got 500k for him when we bought him off them. The problem when you're in administration, any money that comes in, you have to look at it as a sellable asset depending on where you are. I think because we're in the situation where the EFL are looking at checks and balances now to see where we are, I wonder if there's a case where whoever the new owners are going, look, don't make any sales yet. We'll cover this because it might give us a chance to go, look, we want to keep him. Because say you sold Charles, they may come back and say, well, we need to renegotiate a price. That was the price with him. Charles is the one I'd be the one to look out for the next couple of seasons. But we have got a couple of players. There's a young lad called Allo. Liverpool are looking at him at a minute.
Okay.
So we may lose him and all.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier about Harry Amass being one of your standout players. I know there's been reports of him from a Sun saying United are happy with him to stay, but then also reports saying that Stoke are interested as well. Do you think come February he'll still be a Sheffield Wednesday player until the end of the season?
I hope so. I think the one advantage we got with loan players in terms of if we get any, they're automatically guaranteed first team football.
Yes.
They're not going to have that thing where it's maybe 2 games on the bench, come on as a sub, then only play 2 games after that, then back on the bench. Here he guaranteed first team football. Now, the caveat is Man United be like, well, he needs a break. He's been playing week in, week out. We might want him to be a bit rested, and it could be the financial issue. But if you actually look at what the article said, they're not bothered about it on a financial thing. So we might actually be able to have it where they go, look, he's playing week in, week out, he's developing. We're not bothered about paying the financial stuff. He's happy there, he seems settled, keep him for the rest of the season. It's just, or do they want to change him from being in a relegation battle to then put him into a playoff battle?
Yeah.
And go from there, because we've all had it where we've had that lone player we fall in love with, and then the team that chasing for playoffs are like, oh yeah, we're chasing, let's get him in. And then you watch that he's on the bench, he's like, well, he's not playing.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just stay here?
Yeah, no, 100%. As of now, Wednesday are 32 points off safety going into Sunday. With relegation now inevitable, do you believe Wednesday can push for promotion next season, or should it be more of just to sort of solidify your place in League One?
I think it's a tough one because the fan base will want to get out straight away.
Yeah.
But my head says, my heart said go for it, get out of League One. Just go for broke, get out, get to Championship. My head says maybe we need to have a bit of stability, but the quicker we're out, the better. The one thing that I want during this whole process that we've not had for about 8 or 9 years is stability. As a rival fan, how many times have you looked at something to do with the Championship and it's Sheffield went in disarray again?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Over something stupid. Like we came up from League One, Darren Moore's had a falling out with the ownership, so he leaves. Or we get in Danny Rule. Danny Rule looks like he wanted by other clubs. Then that causes problems. I just want it to be about the football.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the behind the scenes. And as a QPR fan, you'll know what all been like many, many years ago, where you had that kind of situation where everything was a bit not about what was on the pitch. It was about what was going off.
Yeah. But no, the last time the sides met was in September, where a Nicholas Madsen penalty ensured a point for each side. What did you
Yep.
make of QPR on that day?
You look good. You looked well organised. You were just starting to. It started just seemed like you were starting to just understand what your Gaffer were trying to do, because
Yeah.
you came into this season in a similar sense as us, in one sense, with new manager, not knowing what's happening, not sure. Because I thought last season your manager did a fantastic job, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
And when he went to Leicester, I was like, all right, that makes sense. You're going to have a bigger budget. But then you look at what he's done, you're actually doing a
yeah,
lot better than him. It's weird how sometimes the grass isn't always greener.
no,
You're a very organised team. The one thing you've got, which I'm worried about when we play you on Sunday, is your counter. You are fast. You
yeah,
are rapid on that counter. And at the minute, we are knackered. Our
yeah,
players are absolutely dead on their feet. So I know the team got like a couple of days off. I think they've got a day off today, and then they'll probably travel Saturday
yeah,
and then play thing. They're knackered. I was very gutted when you got Dembele, because he was somebody I've wanted at Wednesday for such a long time.
yeah.
But as I've noticed, he kind of gone off the boil a little bit. The kind of like the Has it kind of come to reality that he's not really all the finished article yet?
Yeah, there's a lot of competition on the wing for QPR. You have Poku, Smith, Dembele,
Yeah,
all who are sort of that right-hand side winger.
yeah.
But I'm sure he'll come good as time will tell, obviously. But which QPR player would you say you're most wary of if you had to single one out?
Ah, Poku. We played him already. We played him when he was at Plymouth. Not Plymouth. Peterborough.
Peterborough. Yeah,
Rapid, absolutely
yes,
rapid. He good with his feet. You look at your squad; it's actually a very well put together squad. Because you look at Harvey Bale, and you don't think that's someone who will be in that squad now. You think he'd still be competing at Chelsea and stuff.
yeah,
And you I'll be honest with you, your way you've recruited in the summer, it's very clever.
yeah,
We know about Ben Hamer. He was at us last season. I think we could have done with him staying, but it wasn't going to happen. Richard Kone, I think it's a cracking pickup, but for me, it's Pookie, because he's lightning quick.
yeah. No, he's certainly been. We haven't really seen a lot of him this season due to injuries,
Yeah,
but I think next season as well, we'll see more of him, and I think he'll just start to shine as he did at Peterborough last year.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Finally, what's your score prediction for Sunday?
Oh, I'll go with a draw after getting bumped by Preston, because we got 2 draws at Christmas, which we didn't think we were going to get. And for us, I can't even give you an idea of what a prediction team could look like, because I don't know who's going to be in it.
Yeah,
At the minute, there's so many fans at the minute that I look up and go, oh, they know what the team can be. I'm like, who? Where?
yeah,
When did he get injured? And it's just, I think if we come away with a draw, I'd be happy, because
yeah,
I'll be brutally honest, I don't see where our next win coming from. I find, in as bad as that sounds, with everything that's going on, you just want to be competitive. And we've been
yeah,
competitive the last 3 games. Yeah, Preston doesn't look it on the goal line, but we actually gave it a good go. The problem we've got is we'll give it a good go and we'll go for it, but then we'll get tired. So we might have a really good 45, and then you'll get to around 60 minutes and you can tell they're shattered.
yeah,
And there's no one who can come off the bench. Like, you're either lobbing kids on, or you're bringing on a player who's already coming back from injury, so you don't want him to do too much. So it's a hard one, but I'd take a draw. What about yourself?
I think for us, anything except 3 points is disappointment. I think given where
Yep.
Wednesday are in the league, and where we should be aiming for, it's whether to say or not, probably now mid-table finish is probably what we're going to get.
Yeah.
But
You're not
when
that far away, though. A bit of a run.
yeah, a few good string of results can change everything in the Championship.
Yeah. Well, if you look
but-
at your last like 10 matches, your form puts you in 7th place.
Yeah, especially at home as well. I think it's before Norwich we were 4 on the bounce, but four wins out of the last 5 at home is certainly a very good home
Yeah.
record. But it's just
Our
been
record at home is brilliant. None.
I'm sure that would change before the end of the season.
I hope so. What I'm hoping for, mate, is that new people come in. It gives a little bit of an upturn, even though we're down. I think the quicker we get relegation confirmed, I think the pressure might come off them a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's just hanging over their shoulders almost.
Yeah, it's... as much as we know the old ownership's gone, until it's officially gone, there's nothing we can do.
No.
I don't wish this on any fan.
It
Like,
must be incredibly tough.
yeah, it's. I know Derby fans have got a little bit of stick for because some of our away fans shouted "celebrate when Derby die" when the thing, but it's like it's not the entire fan base that thought that. It's some people in the away end. Your away end doesn't represent your entire fan base. I don't want any club to ever go under, even my rivals, because football is about community. And football clubs, you've seen clubs that lose their team in their town, and it's devastating. Like it's like if you lost your rivals or you lost a London club, it'd be like, well, that's fun. Like it's like if someone lost, like Luton, as Luton went, people would lose that rivalry and like that kind of us versus them.
Yeah, that occasion.
Yeah. But for us, it's if we get a draw, then great. If you look at last 4 games, it's 3 draws, 3 losses, and for a team that hasn't got much at the minute, that ain't bad.
No, it's decent.
Yeah. What are your expectations for end of season? Are you just wanting to go mid-table, or do you want to have a push?
I think, of course, we'd all love to have a push. Whether or not we can achieve it is another matter.
Yeah.
I think we definitely have the quality once everyone's fit. Chair's been missing for a few weeks now, and I think once he's back, it could be a big game changer.
Yeah.
And
Probably not back tomorrow.
No, I
Sunday.
don't think he'll
God.
be back tomorrow. But also the window as well. I know every QPR fan wants to re-sign Ronnie Edwards, but
Yeah.
I think it just depends on how much Southampton have asked him. We spent quite a lot in the summer compared to what we usually spend, and brought in some great players like Burrell, Poku, as you mentioned, and like Kone.
Yeah.
But it's just whether or not that we have the squad depth come the end of the season to do it.
What's your ownership like now, if you don't mind me asking? I know that sometimes your ownership's been up and down in terms of what they'll put in and then what they won't.
It's getting a lot better, I think. Nori's doing a great job in charge at the moment, and like I said, this summer was the first transfer window where we've seen QPR actually spend a lot of money in the window.
Yeah.
This was obviously driven by the Eze money from his move from Palace to Arsenal. But it's good to see this money being spent on a relatively young talent as well, which should have high selling value come 2 to 3 years as well.
Yeah. So you're basically doing what Chelsea can't do.
Yeah.
And you get Chelsea fans going, oh, it's all a bad thing. It's not great. Try being a Wednesday fan.
Yeah, no. It's definitely tougher being a Wednesday fan than a Chelsea fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can give a good game and we don't get too battered. Like, I think we're on, I think it's 49 goals we conceded this year. Or 48.
Yeah. I mean, knowing QPR, that could be up to 54, or it could be staying at 48. You just never know.
Yeah. I think it's that whole thing with it, isn't it? Is where I think QPR have got that thing. They're consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You just like one or two quality players just to get you out of trouble now, I think.
but no, it's certainly going to be an interesting encounter, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it, mate.
Thank you all for listening. A big thank you to Jake for his insights on Sheffield Wednesday. I've attached his channel below so that you can listen to his content too. Hopefully we can bounce back with a win.